Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And I want to talk to you about a short 6 episode television series called White House Farms. It is from ITV, so it's a British television series, and it is based on real life events with, I think, some things that they've added for the benefit of making it more interesting for television, I guess. But yeah, it did actually happen in 1985. It was a case that happened in that year, and it is a crime drama, detective cop show kind of thing with crime, being the murder being the main thing about. And it stars the great Mark Addy and Freddie Fox. I have no clue who Freddie Fox is, but Mark Addy, of course, I really enjoyed some of his performances. We have Cressida Bonas as Sheila, Gemma Whelan as Anne Eaton, Mark Stanley as Colin Caffell, and what's the name of the girlfriend? Alexa Davis as Julie Mugford. So, oh yeah, and Stephen Graham as DCI Taft Jones. So this basically is about. Oh, by the way, I actually learned about this television series from a channel called Mr. Balin, and he talks about. In case you don't know who Mr. Balin is, he's got about 6 million subscribers right now, including me. And he talks about mysterious cases, dark events, things that have happened throughout the years, and it's very addictive. So please go and watch his channel. It's called Mr. Balin. Anyway, I learned about this particular television series from a case that he was actually researching, and he learned that there was this television show that was based on the real life event, and he recommended this particular television series. So, like I said, it's only 6 episodes. It's about this guy named Jeremy Bamber who calls up the cops one late night and says that his father had just called him, and he lives away from his parents. His father had called him saying that his sister, who's got a little bit of mental problems, like I think she's got bipolar disorder, and she is threatening the family with a gun, and then the call basically cuts off immediately. So he calls the local police instead of calling the toll-free number, and he calls them and says, please get over as soon as you can. The cops reach there. When they reach there, they see the son is also reached there. He said, I want to really make sure that my family is safe. But when they get there, the father, the mother, and the sisters, who is divorced from her husband, 2 kids are being murdered, as well as the sister has been killed. So we're led to believe that it's the sister who's the murderer. She went berserk, and she killed, using a shotgun, she killed her dad, her mom, her dad, her father, her mother, and her 2 boys before, so it's a murder-suicide before killing herself. The man is devastated. The cops really feel sorry for him because he wasn't really expecting to see his family all murdered. There's an investigation. They are really writing it off as the sister having murdered all of them, the Bamber Caffell family. So the only one of the family who has survived right now is him, because he was living elsewhere with his live-in girlfriend, and the former husband of his sister Sheila, who I think his name was Colin. He, of course, having been divorced and now living with his current girlfriend, but he's got a good relationship with the family. He's got a good relationship with Jeremy, as well as even with the ex-wife and her family. They are really trying to do co-parenting, but he could have actually, because of her condition, he could have actually asked for sole custody, but he didn't, because he thought it would be devastating for her. So he's pretty much also upset. He's lost his 2 sons. Nobody really expected this to happen, so they go around with the funeral arrangements and all of that. Police are convinced that this is exactly what happened. However, one cop, who is I believe he is a Deputy Sergeant Stan Jones, that's his name, played by Mark Addy, he isn't sure. So he does a lot of investigation, and he is not sure how, uh, because what she was wearing, she didn't really have pockets. So the bullets are in the ground floor. The father and mother and the kids were on the first floor. So how did she go and shoot all of them, go back downstairs, and take more bullets, trying to kill everybody, and like nobody tried to escape, or all those things like that. So Jeremy says it's probably when the father actually tried to call out for help, but he must have been stopped by the sister, attacking him once again. And the cops are happy with it. The DCI deputy, I think it's I don't even know what his DCI stand for, but he's the lead in charge of the case. He is convinced that he wants to write it off, close it as quickly as possible, because there's a little bit of media coverage. Everybody seems to be letting Jeremy as the you know the poor young man who's lost his family and all that. So there's a lot of media coverage, and there's a lot of pressure on them to close this case as quickly as possible. But Stan isn't buying it. So there's a couple of things like, for example, looking at the height of the lady. So one thing I already mentioned. Second thing that he had mentioned is he has a lab worker at the police station try and shoot herself. The gun is loaded with the shotgun. Uh, you know, by the same way that is done by placing it against her chin, and she cannot reach the trigger. So she tries her best. She even lies down and tries it, but it's not possible. So he isn't buying it. He gets a lot of flack from the rest of the department, including they make fun of him. They make fun of his weight. He gets it from DCI Taft Jones, who wants him removed from the case. The cousin of Sheila and Jeremy, she isn't convinced. She's very close with her aunt who's the mother of Jeremy and Sheila, and she says that there's no way this could have actually happened. All along, the girlfriend is, silently supporting Jeremy, but soon it is clear that he is basically behind everything, and he set everything up for his family to get killed, and it was actually he who actually killed the family, setting up his sister who's now dead. Because he wanted his lifestyle in such a way that he wanted the inheritance, sell the farm, sell some of their belongings, and live off it. And but he is flirting with a lot of women, and possibly even gay, so possibly bisexual, because he's also brought in a friend of his who they seem to be way too close for comfort. So basically, Julie goes to Stan later on in the series and confesses that it's possible that it is he who did it. She is basically covering for him. And well, you get to see the entire case running. So I basically have spoiled it for you. But then it's an old case. If you basically Google it, White House Farms from 1985, you definitely find this out. So it's actually quite interesting to watch. I really like the fact that even though Stan was ridiculed and rebuked quite a lot, he stood his ground. He went toe to toe with the superiors for quite a bit, and eventually he was proven to be correct. So yeah, a very good series. It's a little bit slower compared to what you're normally used to. So I would possibly give it an 8 out of 10, because it is a little deary compared to, I wouldn't say boring, but a little slow paced compared to a lot of other shows like this. So, but yeah, 8 out of 10. I was really happy with it. So they're still by the end of it. So thumbs up for me for this particular show. Do try and watch it. Thank you.